Ahoy! Let's just get the camera in the right place. And there we go. That's about right. Zoom it just a little bit more, shall we? Oh. Let's try that. That's better, isn't it? Yog. Right. This is the alarm telling me that I've got to go live. Yog. Let's get myself sorted out. Haha. Ahoy, Karen. How goes it, shipmate? Okay, let's get the obligatory box thing over. Right, tonight we are painting, if you couldn't be bothered to read the title, the Viking Warlord A. It's an oldie but a goodie. SV01A. Let's get rid of the box then. And here's the man himself. Yeah. There we go. The camera's in the right place. Right. So without further ado, I shall get paint slinging. Let's start with agate skin. A lot of skin on this one. So, how's everyone's week? How's your week been, Karen? And everyone else's? People tuning in, I know. Let's get some medium in the palette. Okay. Medium. Make it flow nice. Been busy this week, which is cool. I can't get into too much mischief then. So idle hands and all that. So yeah. A week of doing all sorts really. Back to Friday night. Back to reality. Back to the beastie Vikings. Yeah, I mean he's proper old style GB. But he's one of those ones. He's a bit of a plain Jane, but I think he's gonna. I mean, I've played this loads really. This one, it's the classic-y Viking pose. That's that done. Right, I'm gonna start some. Oh, the dog's that's been asleep for an hour has decided he's gonna wake up. Sorry about this, guys. Won't be a sec. I'm waiting for Daddy to turn his back, and then I'm attacking my bed. Ah. Congratulations. Got a chance to play around with any yet, Karen? I've come to the conclusion they are very good. To take a little bit of getting used to, but what I'll do is I'm going to use worn stone for the base of his trews. Evening, Rich. How goes it, shipmate? Today's Friday, mate. Welcome to Friday again. I'll just explain. Rich sent me into a flat spin panic yesterday. Yeah, yesterday by asking me if I was doing the feed or giving it a miss this week, and I thought, oh my god, what's happened? But yeah. So yeah. But we got through it. Discovered what day it was, etc. He's even got a little patch on his leg there, I just noticed. That's cool. Yeah, this is the worn stone. We're just going to use this as the base for our white. So I'm not too worried about it being a bit patchy there. Oops, let's stop the computer resetting. So the dog's been a... If he carries on, he's going to go downstairs. Actually, I thought I'd be alright tonight. He's gone to sleep. Right, so let's get the gunmetal on board so it can start drying. Let's get the pants brush, there we go. Just lay the gunmetal in there with a bit of medium in my brush. Yes. Been quite a venture into the boxes deeply buried here at Pirate Island. The buried treasure. I found all sorts. When I stopped doing the eBay about a year and a half ago, I packed everything in boxes and just shelved it. And I didn't realise how much I'd shelved, as well as all the stuff that was built up over the year and a half of me not eBaying as well. So it's like a double whammy of stuff. So instead of having a pile of unpainted shame, I've got a pile of painted shame. But it's a nice problem to have, I suppose. It's not really a problem. Apart from not having any space, it's not really a problem. So just lay this gunmetal in so we can put some wash on it in a minute. Start the shield off. There we go. Yeah, so when this box here I've just been emptying, these are the sort of things that I've forgotten that I've painted in the boxes. It's ginormous. Yeah, I painted it on a whim, and it was on eBay, and then I took it off eBay and stuck it in the box. Craziness. I can't get it back in the box now. Yeah. Some old school blood letters in the same box. I remember repainting them because somebody gave them to me. There's all sorts in there. But we're finding it all. Oh, and the chair's gone all creaky. But anyway, back to what I'm supposed to be focusing on. Let's just put a... I'm just going to put that gently onto a blue tack. Don't press down too hard, and then it won't pull the paint off the back. Sometimes I paint the backs and lacquer them before I do that. either or. I sprayed that over with the Vallejo grain primer earlier anyway. It's just a case of doing a few more layers. Okay, back on with this geezer. Let's start is tunic off with Wyvern Fury. Sometimes you can shake the paints and they just don't feel right. You kind of get used to them, don't you? Oh, that one needs just a little bit more of a shake. And Karen's bought 85 army paints. So you're in for some shaking. Yeah, lots of shaking. Don't forget to. I presume they're the old Gen 1 ones. So don't forget to squeeze a little bit of the packing medium out first. Yeah, so that way I'll just thinned it a bit on the palette. Yeah, before you shake them at all, Karen, I don't want to be teaching you to. So, okay, so don't forget to squeeze the extra packing medium out. Somebody's found they've got a hole on their car. Lovely. And I think they're very good paints. I'm just going to run this red as the base coat. Seagull going crazy out there. I think one of yours, Karen, that's lost. I use metal beads from I think they were. I got them at a bargain price on the AK Interactive ones. Stainless steel shakers. I think they were just. I think I picked them up on Amazon or something when they were doing that. So many, and you get 10% off and what have you. But I think your Profiler Army Painter is selling theirs off cheap because they're not going to use them anymore as I hunt around. Oh, stainless steel won't rest in there. For ages and ages, I used the bits of miniatures I cut off the bottom, like the bases and stuff. That stainless steel won't rest in there. Oh, don't they know that I'm busy? Okay, I'm just gonna grab that base colour for the white again, just a second coat. I'm thinning it down this time. It doesn't have to cover as much. This is that worn stone. Which is very similar to the old beige, and the new beige is slightly lighter. Brain matter beige, isn't it? There we go. You see it's quite thin, quite watery. Yeah. I don't think it makes much difference. I think psychologically the metal ones feel heavier, but I don't think they properly are. So we're going to get bootstrap brown. We're not doing anything there. I'm just putting on the bases at the moment, so I'm using the cheapy brush rather than the Glinsky one. Today has been mainly painting old miniatures again. So we did an old Grenadier saber-toothed tiger. Which was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I did a demon, which I didn't know what it was, but somebody's just pointed out on one of the social medias that it's probably a Ratham Cthulhu miniature. It's that one. It's a Night Gaunt. That was the Night Gaunt. Let's get this saber-toothed tiger for you. I'm rather pleased with his fur. Hope it's going to show up on camera. There we go. An old 1992 Grenadier. Wow. Let's put him out the way. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the Karen. I'm using these cheapy. As you can see, they're quite dear brushes that I'm using. So once they don't get time to get to that point where they need cleaning, they just go. But again, I'll use the Klinsky one for the bear. And I need something a little bit pointier. I'll slurp this coffee. Next we're going to go Crusader skin. He's not got much skin, so we need a little bit. I do have a tendency to put too much paint out. Yeah, I know your brushes oh, sorry guys, bobble vision there. The brushes you use are worth cleaning out. Sorry about the boingy vision there. So just use that Crusader skin as the our flesh wash. There we go. And we're at it. We're grab dark tone, which is our black wash. It's a non-oil. Oh, right, okay, yeah, I get you. I mean, these brushes here, I waited till there was a sale on and bought a couple of hundred of them because they were so cheap. They make the point might last a couple of miniatures, but it's so cheap. It was amount of brushes I go through. And I was really let down by, I think I said it before, I used Newton's number 7 ones. You know the ones I mean. And I loved them, and then all of a sudden I got a couple of Duff ones in a row. But again, speaking to people could have been fakes, so who knows. So I will not besmirch their company and my namesake. But yeah, some good brushes out there, aren't there? Alright, Zest. You had a Vallejo brush cleaner, it's very good. And I've got that, one I do, it's a bit dusty. I've got one of those, which I do use when I'm trying to clear out the, like the dry brushing brushes. Just often I'll clean it with that. Alright, cool. Yep, so if you're watching this video, don't forget to tune in to Kits with Karen. Is that tomorrow, Karen? Brush care, which is kind of opposite to everything I do, probably. I'm awful with looking after brushes. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Right, so... Oh, okay. But you're on online tomorrow, yeah? Oh, okay. Well, go and subscribe to Karen anyway, and hit the notification bell, and then you'll be told when she's going to be on board online. That apparently is the new Joe for the algorithms for how you go up on the YouTube. Is they've changed it to the notification bell. So it's really important that people now not only subscribe but ring the bell. So I found out the other day. So if you are subscribed to me and you're watching this and you haven't rung the notification bell, give it a ting-a-ling for me. Cheers. So I wish they wouldn't keep moving the goalposts. Yeah, I found out from another YouTuber. It used to be worked on the subscribers, but now it works on the more important, on the notification bell now. So I'm just using, carnelian skin, which is my new go-to for my leather colours. I just like that kind of reddy brown in it. A little bit of medium in it. And we will sort of, I think it gives a nice bold look against the other colours. I'm using obviously the Klinsky brush, so we've got better line. Yeah, they're very nice brushes. I know that's what Karen, that's what you still use, isn't it, Karen? I think even with the dearer brushes, it's still important that you keep older brushes or cheaper brushes to do stuff like chainmail and washes and stuff to protect your nice brush. I remember wearing the Winsor & Newtons down quite quickly, painting all this chainmail and stuff. So not this brand then, Karen. I don't even, I can't, I'm not even going to attempt to read that out. I hope it's not something rude and I've just put a leather cord for his necklace. Dog's snoring nicely. The old brushes and I've got these packs of mixed blue ones. I just watch out on Amazon whenever the Black Friday kind of sale, and just buy random packs, and you'll get them like, I think these ones worked out like 20 pence each. So I'm happy if they last, just a few miniatures. Sometimes they go longer. Sometimes you get a good one. It's like anything. But consistency wise, I think the army paint ones deliver quite a good bang for their buck too. Yeah, it's much better than it was earlier. He's been a pain in the butt. Okay, so we'll go to our next red colour. We're going to go for dragon red. Thin that right down. A little bit more. I'm going to start working on these highlights, because remember, I thinned this red out so it's quite see-through at the moment. So I want to leave just the That woven red just in the right in the creases. The camera's a bit more zoomed in this week. Is that better for people? Because we were quite zoomed out last week and the focus kept going all over the place. He's awake again. Again, that's why we're thinning out this red. And we're aiming it just at the higher areas and leaving the creases and that darker look. But even if we go a bit in there, because we've thinned the paint, the dark one's going to blend and show through anyway. Which is kind of what you want to happen. So let's leave that layer to dry. Thought whether we've got a little bit more time to play around with this guy. I think you could paint him really quickly. So next we're going to go for leather brown. Thin it a bit with a medium. I'm going to go over these boots. We're going to go over the toes, a bit on the top there, leaving gaps so it's looking like it's his boots are a bit muddy and creased and stuff. There we go. You see that? I can't possibly comment, Karen. I just know they were, I'm not say cheap, I'd say inexpensive. I tried a couple and then thought, yep, they'll do, so I bought loads of them. Yeah, I got on with them alright. I think it's whatever you get on with. But hey, there's certain things you've got to swap to a decent brush for. So even if I've not got those, I'll use an army painter one, standard one, and then to save the Klinsky one. And this is the one that's gone a bit further down the road. Look, I'm going to stay that, but that's going to be used for metallics and washes. And then when that one loses its point, it gets turned down to that one, and that one goes in the tub and goes to the local school when they need it. A little autistic school. So they use them for putting glue and stuff on, which is nice. And of course they go in the bin. I mean, this is a couple of weeks old, this one, so it's doing all right, this one. I don't mind them turning over like that, as long as they're not deer ones. So when a deer one does it, you think, I don't mind if it's so I tend to when they're turned over like that, you know that you've got a tip, so you can turn it over and just use the tip, and then turn it back and use the bendy bit. So you kind of, as long as you're aware where your brush is, you can do some quite fine work with even brushes that are this knackered. If you think where you're putting your paint. They do, but it just takes longer, doesn't it? And different things help them last longer. Like Karen will go through and brush care. I'm on the other end. I think wet palette helps them last a bit longer because you're not going onto such a rough surface. I think medium helps. I think, I don't know, I presume if the paint flows through the brush easier, you're not doing it as much damage. I'm not going to get involved in this discussion because it's one that you should listen to Karen about. She's far, far more qualified than me to talk about brush care. I wiggle them about in the water till the paint's gone and crack on. So I will be trying to watch it when you do it. There, just lay that gold in there. So next we're going to come back in with that dragon red. This time we're going to be a bit more concentrated on the higher areas. Now we're starting to leave the low bits with a darker colour. And this is just going to strengthen the highlights we started on the last pass. So you see what I mean there. We're not going to paint into that gap. We're just either side of it. There. Down that ridge, across the bottom there. And we leave a nice shape in that gap. And we're not going to go up underneath the chainmail there, because that'll throw a bit of shadow. The camera's nice and tight tonight, isn't it? Cool. Yeah, these are some of their original old school sculpts, so they've got some have got the big hands and stuff. And And a lot of the later ones, they try and do them with the hand you drill, you know, if the hand's actually on the weapon, which I prefer a lot more. The dog is just being annoying again. There you go. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so they try and do it whenever they can. So you get the weapon with the hand sculpt on it. So you drill it out and glue it in. You know the ones I mean. I think that's a lot better. It's not, the hands are smaller. It's a much neater job, and the weapons don't fall off so easily. I mean, where they're good enough to support my channel, I just, in fairness, you're absolutely right to do that with the weapons, but I'll grab it and keep it as close to the packet as I can. So I think it'd be unfair for me to model stuff and say, this is the miniature you get out the packet. But it's a nice old miniature, I like it. You can see him just charging up the beach, can't you? Okay, so next we're gonna grab the pure red. This is slightly lighter than the dragon. I'm gonna get into the medium. Get that nice and thin. Wash the brush out. And go back in, pick some up. Right, now we're going to go even tighter now. So if we go for just the highest areas. And a little bit along the edge of the tabard. The dog is getting annoying because he's working up and decided he's going to be an idiot. He's trying to pinch old blister packets. They belong to Gripping Beast, not you. Where's your bone? Come on. Sorry about these little breaks, guys. If he carries on much longer, he'll be exiled to downstairs. Where was I? Oh, yes, I was highlighting the higher areas. So you're going to cross the ridges, then just feather it along that bottom edge of this cloak. Well, it's tabard, not cloak. Sorry. So as you see along the top of the, just paint little lines. Little breaks in them will do more for you. Okay, so on his sleeve there you can see those wrinkly bits. We're going to go along the top edge of those. Across the inside of this arm, because that's upward to our light source. We're not going to go underneath because there's no light coming in from there. Across the top there. Stop at his elbow. Again on this arm where the shield is. So across the top of his cuff, top of his arm there, it's going to catch light. Although you could argue that when the shield's there it won't, but we'll just put that on the top of his arm and then leave the underneath darker. What we're going to do is get some more medium, and then we're going to go back over those areas we've just done. Okay, so now we're just going to go down and just take those, staying in the areas we've already done, coming inside. So highlighting the highlight. There we go. I figure we might as well give him a good working at, because he's not overly abundant on stuff to paint, so we can concentrate a lot on what we've got. Alternatively, you could have just painted this red on and chucked a glaze over it and say job done, and it still looked good. But I thought I've done a lot of videos like that of using lots of wash to speed stuff up, so I thought I'd start doing some different styles of painting. It's good to have many strings to your bow. Isn't it? I think so. Okay, so next is his trees. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we've done that stony colour, so now I'm going to bring that a beige. Swap back out brushes, I don't need that point at the moment. That point's alright. Just put a bit of medium in with the beige matte brain matter beige. And I've been quite sploshy about this because it's quite loose, but I'm aiming at the higher areas, leaving some of that stone colour in the low areas and the creases, the low creases, well, you know what I mean. I'm not being fussy about it because we're going to come back in with another colour in a minute. So of course that area there is going to be quite light because that's catching a lot of the light. Where once you go past his knee there, it's sloping the other way, so it's not going to catch the light. I always think I use my painting lamp as the sun whilst I'm thinking about where it catches the light. And if you've if you've Zenithal highlighted and you're not sure, that you can sketch out all your highlights with your Zenithal. Keep your paints nice and thin. I like Army paints, Karen. I presume you've got the Gen 1 ones coming. They're a bit more work than these ones. Have got a higher pigment, but those ones have got a high pigment as well. They're a bit more work than other paints, but once you get used to them, I think they're very good. I got rid of all the Vallejo and all the others when I went to the army paint because I got a good consistency once I got them working right. But your shaking is your friend with army painter, the original army painters. Shake 'em, shake 'em, shake 'em, shake 'em. Shaky baby. But yeah, I mean, years ago when somebody gave me an army paint one, I hated them, and I must admit it was it's because I hadn't shaken them up properly. These aren't so bad, these new ones, but the original ones are. Luckily, somebody bought me a back massager, and I converted it to a paint shaker. But once they're shaken up, that's it. You little shake and they're done. So it's getting them prepped up right. So when you first get them, Karen, before you shake them, I don't know if you've done this before, just get yourself a tissue and tip the bottle very, very gently on its side so you don't stir it up, and then gently squeeze and you'll get the clear medium out, and squeeze a little bit of that out first and then shake them, not once you drop the balls in, because that you don't need all that medium. It's like a packing medium. And I didn't do that at first, and once I did it, it's fine. So what I'm doing at the moment is, this is a mashup of, there was about that much of Viking flesh shade in it, and the rest is a bottle of army painter flesh tone. Oh, and medium is your friend with army painter paints as well. So now we've got to red. I have mixed up, which I will do a video on when I do the video I keep promising you, Rich. I'm terribly sorry, but I will make the one of the medium. But I've also working on a recipe for glazes. Now this isn't, it's the pot for bloodlet glaze, but it's not bloodlet glaze. This is my recipe that I've stolen off a couple of other people. Once I get it to the right proportions, I will let you know. But if you look at these blends, you can see the blends slightly there. What I'm going to do is just drop this glaze all over this red. So this is kind of like a wash, but it's a glaze. If you know what I mean. But rather than glazing an area, I'm going to glaze the whole lot like a wash. But I've made a GW style glaze there. Let's see, what sorcery is this? You wait until you see this dry. So this is just gonna, it's gonna, what's the best way to explain it? So it's like it's going to put a lens over, sorry, lens, what's it called? Like a gel over the get on a light. So we're looking through that red now, and as it dries, it will sort of take the lighter tones down and the darker tones up, so we get a smoother blend. You can see it happening already there. So we'll have a look at that in a second when that's dry. Okay, so next we're going to get are matte white. Oh yeah, so I'll go back to my exciting week in between as well. I've been sorting through all these boxes. Oh, the dog's chewing his foot. It sounds horrible. So this is straight matte white now. I'll put a lot of medium in with that, and I'm just gonna give him these nice white leggings. I'm just aiming at those highlighted areas we've already been at. And there's that patch he's got on his trousers I've been leaving, so we do that different colour. So across its knee there. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's get his shield. We're going to go put some a layer of brain matte beige over it. So I've just thinned it out with medium. You can see how that's going on there nice and thin. So I'm almost gonna. Okay. Right. Once that is drying, we're gonna grab oh sorry, that's a long reach over there. Oh, Zaza. Well, Rich, I'll leave that answer to you. He's in the chat room. I'm sure he spotted that Zaza. It was quite exciting, wasn't it? I did go down and tell the galley slave. So we're just grabbing. This is ordinary oak brown from the old range, and we're just gonna water it down with a load of medium. Her friend, because I went downstairs and said, "Oh, they just made scones on in the air fryer," and she was going to make. One of her friends had made some fairy cakes or something in it. So, but we're not going to turn it into a pirate cooking show. In fairness, but as you can see, I'm watering down this oak brown pretty heavily with the medium because I want the. That's it. I'm going to bang on the floor, get the wench to come and get the dog. Because he's decided that the gripping beast empty blisters that I save up to take back to him, they're obviously far too tempting. So he's going to have to be evicted. So hopefully hopefully the ship's wench will arrive in a moment and rescue me from the dog. The ship's dog is being expelled from the upper decks. He's all of a sudden he's heard her coming and he's sitting there like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. So yeah, so we're watering this. That's it, he's finished, he's going downstairs. The ship's concubine has taken him away. Right, so yeah, so you walk that, well, thin it down. Reason being is I want some of this stony texture to show through, and it will give us this makes me laugh. It's going to give us a free bit of highlighting, which we're always up for. Okay, so now I don't think there's much of his eyes left to paint. There, we're gonna have a go, see what it's like. They're kind of over the years of casting there a little bit. Well, they still look good. I think we're gonna get away with that. There we go. And I use the Psycho brush for that. And this one I've had probably, it's got to be a couple of years. You see the paint's actually cracked on the underneath the thing. But if you just use them for eyes and just detail, they wear down. I mean, it's worn down quite a bit, but they wear down in a point. It's quite cool. So let's go back to our Omni brush. I'm going to grab some of that white. And his trousers quite but not going all over. I'm still only hitting the higher areas. So your overall value of the area will be nice and white. So if you look now at the red, let's see if we can get some shade over it. That's too much shade. You can see how that glaze has picked up the highlights, toned them down a little bit and blended it all nicely. So you can always almost go mad and then take it back a stage, which is kind of cool. If you see what I mean. See what I mean. Yeah, so as I was speaking to Rich, I've started up my eBay account again to get stuff flowing again. So if you fancy taking a look, it's the name on it is 99p guy. He's doing my clearance center. I used to start at 99p when back in the day when eBay was a good place to do that with. So what I'll do for you guys as well, and anyone watching the video, is when I finish this one, I'll stick him on the 99p guy site, and we'll start him at, we can decide what we're going to start him at if you want. So I've gone with, oh sorry, I didn't tell you what colour paint I was using. That's rude. That's a dog that's there. This is Tundra Taupe, which is deep olive brown. I'm going to, I've got my nail art brush. I've got some matte medium in there, and I'm just going to start pulling lines down his goose. gives us a nice stripy leggings. Yeah, so we'll stick this guy up on eBay once he's finished. So anyone watching this video, can have a look. All you need to do, I think, is decide how much you guys think we should put him up for. As a special get Pirate Rich's eBay going again. I think is he £4 on the website? I can't remember how much he's on the website now. I did look earlier, but so just letting this brush just about getting the paint in a nice consistency just to run off the brush. I say these are like miniature sign painting brushes, these nail brushes. Well worth picking up a cheap set. I think these were, I think they were £6 for about 5 or 6 brushes. And literally I just use them for this sort of thing, but they're all different lengths you can get. Yeah, so yeah, I get funny one of it. It's there we go. Some nice stripy trees. I think eBay now as well works on the similar thing to the social medias. If you get people following your page, as it were, is that the right word? I don't know. Your eBay account, it actually comes up higher in the suggestion things, which I didn't know. So even if you don't want to buy anything from me and you think, no, that's rubbish, if you can do us a favour and go and follow, yes, just search out 99p guy. You tell in the descriptions, because if you read one of the descriptions, it says painted by Pirate Rich Paints. I did used to have a selling page called high rich paints on there, but unfortunately the baddies got hold of it. Some baddies. Hence I've been scared, a bit technophobic about it. But I've been brave, and here we are. It's the precursor to, I think it's next weekend, we're doing the Lincoln Barn sale in Bristol. Should be good. Good fun. See some of my shipmates. Yeah, so next Sunday, if you're in the Bristol area and you're bored, look up the Lincoln Barn tabletop sale, because you'll find it's proper gamers selling off proper good stuff. And I will be spending more than I sell. But a lot of the stuff you see on these videos will be on there, as it will be more on my eBay account. Okay, so let's start with, oh no, that's too orange. Let's start with Demigod Flames. It's looking quiet. It's because the dog's gone downstairs. So again, a bit of medium in there. I'm just going to let this go his beard and his mustache. Good evening, Mr. Go For It. How goes it? We're painting Vikings, don't you know? As if you hadn't spotted the title of the video, of course. So I tell you what then, guys, if I can tempt you to go and have a look at my eBay page and give it a follow, I will pop this Viking on there when he's lacquered in the morning, unless I get it lacquered tonight. Might be able to do it tonight, actually. I will stick him up for 99p as his starting thing. So somebody might get a bargain, you might get bid up a bit, but it doesn't usually happen very much on eBay now. So that's what I'll do. I'll do a starting bid 99p, because my eBay page is 99p, guys. So it'd be rude not to have something on there for 99p. Yeah, that might be a thing to do, isn't it? Is once a week, but although I've been stung many old times on the eBay of putting stuff on for a special, and just somebody waits the last minute and does like gets it for 99p. Which I can't blame people for. Okay. Just watering that. So what size of brush? Oh, right, okay. This says it's a 00. I usually use these army painter ones. So I'll use the character. What I call character, isn't it? Yeah. So generally for most of it, I use the character size one, which is going to be somewhere around the 00. But I like using these. The character is the same size as this one, but this is a better brush. But I think these are about £10, and the other ones are about £5 or £6. But I generally use that for the detail, so that's why you see me swapping in and out of brushes. And then for the very fine detail, I use a Psycho. To be fair though, brush wise, I know some people may agree, disagree on this, is as long as it's got a good point, it doesn't really matter what size the brush is, because you're only painting with the point. And I think that's true to a certain degree. So I'm going back to this nail brush, just to confuse the matters. And I'm going to go back in with that green. I'm just going to get these nice and strong, and to the right thickness. I want that white. The green to match in thickness, kind of, if you not see what I mean. But because I've not, I think the mistake when we're doing details is because we don't want to go through the stress of keep doing it. We try and do it in one go, and sometimes it's best just to do a bit, then come back to it. Let me just so let's see. I'm just widen these lines out so we get like a nice. See, I had quite a bit of paint in the brush then, but it's still real controllable in these. They're quite bendy. I suppose it's because you're pulling designs on nails and stuff, aren't you? So let's go back to this side. They're quite cool because you can kind of almost lay the brush down, if you know what I mean. See, the white is a lot wider than the green there, so we're just coming back down, just thickening that green up. Yeah, give that a wash out. I'll keep that handy because we're going to go down there with a white in a minute. So what we'll do now is we're going to do some fanciness around the wrists of his shirt. So we're going to get that yellow we've used for his hair on our Psycho brush. I'm just going to go under a thin line. Making sure there's not too much paint on there. I want to try and force there's so little bristles left on it, you've got to just do a little bit at a time. It's great for dotting eyes and little stuff like this, but I know somebody that paints whole miniatures with these little tiny ones. They go for a lot of them, but it's how he wants to paint. So they wear down very quick if you do that with them. So now we're going to go around the edge of this one. And this hand's going to be behind the shield, but we know the detail's going to be there. I'm just going to fill it up with medium. And keep it nice and thin. You get that nice thin line by having the paint at the right consistency. But even more importantly is your brush pressure. If you press down too hard, you kind of splodge the line out. I think that's the technical word. You just want the tip of your brush just touching, don't it? You don't want too much paint in your brush. Make sure if it looks like there's too much paint in your brush, there's too much paint in your brush. Stop and load a little bit. Go back in. Don't wreck it. There we go. So now we're going to grab some more. I'm going to do a second line. So I'm using the on the Griffin Beast website. I'm basing this on the one that's painted on there. Okay, Rich, I get the message. I will do it. So as you see, there we go. What Rich is referring to there is one of the those that haven't been on here before. I mix my own medium up, and I keep promising and consistently letting down, it must be said, and I must put my hands up. I'm making a video of how to make it, how it's used, why I'm using it. See, that was too much in there. You can see that big blob. So we'll clean our brush out, which needed cleaning out anyway because it will start to dry. Put a little bit of medium on the brush. And I'm just gonna water that yellow down with the medium. Clean your brush. And zip that out. Now I'm going to go into a different area, let it dry. Yes, so this is it's the packet. This is the standard Warlord, so it's the Viking Warlord A, SV01A. So he's a Warlord, but not a named Warlord, as you're right. So in Saga, all the Warlords are superheroes, basically, and some are super duper heroes. And they all have different stats. So, yeah. Some, like the Picked Warlord, have a chariot. Sigvaldi, that I painted last week, he comes with 3 John Viking bodyguards. The basic Anglo-Danish Warlord comes with a Danax. So yeah. And then you got you can spend extra points in the game to get people like William the Conqueror, Attila, Ragnar Lothbrok. And all the sort of, so usually you get your Warlord for free in the point system because it represents you. You're the Warlord. But when you can then spend an extra point to change it to a legendary Warlord, which is sometimes worth it, sometimes not worth it. Okay, so yeah, I thought it was saying Rich. I just seen your comment. Yeah, they've all got different little rules. So now just to be posy, so now I've done the 2 lines, looking at the 1 on lines, so we're just going to make them into nice little boxes. So we're just going to get roughly about the same. Oh, sorry if I was off camera. It's really hard when you're doing the detail to keep the, because I don't really want to be in the air while I'm doing this either. So when you're doing freehand and like detail work, eyeballs, you want to be putting your hand against the back of your hand against the bench and lock everything together as you can see my hands are. What I'm doing is I'm locking my left elbow against my body in the chair because I'm mid-air. just do around his sleeves the same. Okay. I always pick a nice visible spot for the first one, so your eye picks up on that one, and then it sort of takes you round the model. There we go. So next we shall grab the black. Now this black, as we know, is, as you see, the pots. The pots are Games Workshop one. The black in there is Vallejo, by big pots of them, so I go through so much black. And it's mixed with the medium to just make it nice and thin. We're just gonna go ahead and dot those eyes. Okay. It's slightly coming off his blue tack, so we just sort that out. Some of the blue tack I've got is getting a bit old, so it's not as sticky as it once was, so let's just sort that out. So as we chat. So yeah, Vikings. So yes, 99p guy is going to have a 99p Viking on there later on, and you're kind of looking at it. Yes, I will stick him up, I've decided. Please watch him, guys, and make sure someone on here gets him for 99p if he goes cheap. So let's grab our nail liner brush again, and we're just going to grab that. This is the pure matte white. I'm just going to run down in between the greens there. I'm not worried about getting close to the green. I just want to run down the middle of that highlight area just to make it look a little lighter. It doesn't even have to go the full length, just the highlighty bit, if you see what I mean. So on the back there, you could just do like that bit, leave a bit, that bit. So just highlighting these. If somebody's going to win this, someone gets this for 99p, they'd be gutted. Exciting though. There we go. So next, wash that out. We're going to grab, there's an orange wash. What's it called? I think it's called Orange Tone. There we go, Orange Tone. I'm just going to get a little drop of that. Just grab any of the brushes, a little bit of orange tone, and we're just going to put that into that beard. Just going to give that, because that was an orange based yellow, it's going to give us that sort of orangey look about it. There we go. Now, the patch on his knee, I think we'll do as a grey. Yeah, uniform grey. Medium in there. Just touch that area out. There we go. See if that gold has still got any life in it. Yeah, be enough. I just wanted to put some into the hair braids. It didn't show up massively well, but it shows up a bit. I'll put a little bit more around that. There we go. So next, what should we do next? Oh, let's put some silver onto that. That's plate mail, which almost is good. Shining silver. We'll use this brush because it's starting to go anyway. Load the tip of the brush up a little bit, and I'm just going to think where the sunlight's going to catch the top of the helm there, but not in where the crease bits are. Top of his swords in the sunshine. In the sunshine. And just pull it across the blade a little bit, but not off the back of it, only that top bit, because that will catch the sun, but that won't. Again, on chainmail, we're just going to put a little bit across its shoulders there. This isn't too dark actually, this chainmail, it's got to stay quite bright. Just hit a few odd links just to make it look glistening. Is that the word, glistening? I suppose so. And I'm going to get a slightly fiendish yellow, which is a brighter orange yellow. I'm just going to get a little bit of that, we don't need a lot. And we're just going to come and just touch along the edge of the beard there. Just so it's just on this sort of thing, less is more. So I'm just letting the brush just touch down on some of the detail. Hope you can see that on the camera. So I'm just I'm starting to really like this miniature, and for a plain Jane sort of miniature, he's really painting up nice, isn't he? Okay, so let's get a little, is that black wash dried up? Yes. So I get a little bit more black wash, dark tone, sorry. This is just for that little grey patch. So I want a little bit on brush because we don't want it running down into that other area, so we just want it just to pick the highlights, sorry, just to highlight the edge by this black kind of sitting into the divots. Can you see? Nice. So next we want a nice brown. I'm going to go with soft tone. A bit of soft tone, just to blend those, that browns, just blend them together. But this is the sort of stuff you can just nip round, and anything you think, oh yeah, I'm going to just put a little bit in there, a little bit in there, just a little bit round his eyes, just to touch it up a little bit under his lip there, just to pick his mouth out a bit. A little bit on that scabbard as well. There we go. I think that's pretty much him done there. So now it's shield time. I did find an old shield. Well, where did I put it? Oh, I think I put it away. What should we do with the shield? What colours? What colours do you think? The one online's got a black and yellow shield with kind of birds on it. Let me see if I can find. I did sort some shields out before we come live. I chucked them in here. I found a lot of bits on the side of my desk. I was going to use one as a painting guide. Although, I could just put that shield on him because that's so cool, isn't it? Who votes for that? Or I could paint one. That wasn't the one I was going to copy though. I did pick one out. Where's it gone? Sorry about this, guys. It was a red and white one, I think. I'm not going to tip all this out because I've spent ages picking it all up. Well, that was the design. It was over red and white. Okay. Let's paint a shield. First up, nice. So we got it nice there. We'll grab that dragon red. medium. Keep that nice and thin. Just around the edge. I'll paint the back once we've stuck him on. I even sorted my little heater out just to dry the bits in between to speed it up. My mini heater. I thought they'd be the quietest. It's a bit quieter than the hair dryer. So sorry about it's a little bit of a noise, but there we go. That was just a little. It's not as good as a hairdryer, but that's what I was using on that convention, Rich. Just speeds up a little bit. Now swap into the pure red, and we're gonna thin that down again. I'm gonna go over the top of that. I'm not worried if I don't make a complete colour change. Doesn't matter if it looks a bit patchy. But what is important is that middle line. But the rest, to be honest, if you leave little bits of it, it's going to look better. There we go. All right. Let's get the heater on that. It's like washing paint dry. I did buy that when they use for drying eyelashes. This one. I don't know where they were coming. Air conditioning fan. But in fairness, it only blows cold, so it's slightly it does work, but it's slightly longer than the heated one. Okay, so there we go. So we've got the bases of our shield. Next, we're going to get our little cool brush. We're going to do the design. So we want our little psycho brush, and we'll do the design in black. There's two ways to this now, so we can we'll put a little bit of black out on the wet palette. So we can get some medium in there. All right. So we go for that black is really thin, just how we want it. And we're going to go for head of a dragon, so as his ear. Hope you can see that. There we go. It's always good to have the black just a little bit too thin to start with, because any mistakes can be easy to cover up. Which if you go really thick straight away. The other thing I like doing is putting a blob of the medium next to the paint I'm using on the palette. So I'm going to do one of those curvy, wurvy Griffin Beast style. So just think about it being in a big knot. And this is just our kind of map of where we're going. Hope you can see that where we're going at the moment. Let me try and hold it up a bit. Is that better? So as we go, we know roughly where we're going. We can start shaping the just using the very tip of the brush. Got the medium running nice. See the dark, the depth of the colours build up as we go. Use it as a nice guide. Sometimes you double down on the lines. Don't be frightened to, rather than trying to paint things upside down and around, keep everything right way up. You know what I mean? Just turn your paint holder, if you know what I mean. My brain wouldn't go into gear then, would it? That's because I'm focusing on painting little tiny lines. There we go. So that's our rough outline. So what we do now is we go back round and just strengthen those lines in. There we go. Just make some into nicer curves. Add a few little lines just to fill it out a bit. There we go. What do you think? I always like to put in what I always think that's effective. If you put some dots on, to do dots, you need a little bit more paint on. Just put your dots. And we do some opposite. Always just keep note of what paint's in your brush. Because if it's a slightly bigger brush, you could kind of load it up a little bit more and just go bloop, just dot it. But where it's so tiny, I'm going to actually paint the dot. And there we go. What do you think? Will we get away with that? Is that good enough? Is what I'm saying. We'll be alright. I was tempting to write 99p guy on it, but that would have been silly. Okay, let's have a look where we are now. There we go, 2 hours work. We've done the shield. We haven't done the back of the shield yet. So we glue that on. Let's glue it on now. Let's get the glue. So that's coming up 2 hours. That's me knocking the camera. Sorry, guys. Let's get and glue that bad boy on. I didn't clean the top of the glue earlier. Okay. Oh, I'm knocking everything about now. So let's hold the glue there a sec. That looks about right. There we go. So next is to stick some tufts on there and paint the back of his shield, and he's done, isn't he? Oh, and the black victory lap. All right then, guys. So I don't think you need to see those bits. I'll do them off camera, and then I give him a little while and lacquer him and stick him on 99p guy for 99p. So if you're seeing this tomorrow, have a check on eBay and look up 99p guy and see if he's still at 99p. And if he is, oh, cheers. Yeah. So if you go on there and he's still 99p, feel free to try to win him at 99p. Beautiful. I do like that miniature. He's a cracker. Right. Okay then, guys. So that's it. I think we'll leave it there tonight. So, well, things we got to remember. Let's just have a recap. If you can subscribe, that's brilliant. If you can hit the notification bell, if you haven't, that would be helpful for me. Thank you very much in advance. The subscription is on about 940, which is really brilliant. So we're nearly at that big 1,000, which we'll do another special on. I'll talk to Griffin Beast about that, see what we can do. Also, next Sunday, Lincoln Barn, Bristol is a tabletop sale, which I'll be at. And also, guys, if you could nip on eBay for me, find me at 99p guy. Just that's the name of the thing, 99p guy. And follow me. That helps as well. And if you want to bid on this fella, he's going to be on there probably before midnight at 99p. I'll put him on a week listing. And yeah, good luck if you bid on him. Okay, guys, I shall leave you to it. Thank you for joining me again. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have a nice week. I'm certainly planning on having a nice week. I'm planning on doing that video for Rich on the medium. I'm also planning on doing the video on the glaze. So look out for those. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks for joining me. And have a fun weekend. Stay safe, everyone. Bye now.